Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go over some more technical analysis. I haven't gone over these in a little while. We're going to go over rare earth metals and we're going to go over lithium. And maybe I'll throw some other stuff in there, maybe fertilizers as well. Haven't gone over that in a long time. And we'll look to see what the patterns are looking like, what I would be doing, and give you my financial opinion. Again, it's just my opinion. Please don't use it as advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a financial opinioner. There you go, opinioner. So let's dive in. We got REMX behind me. That's the Rare Earth Strategic Metals ETF. Downward movement, sideways bottoming pattern, and we're starting to move on higher. We could come back and do a retest in this area here. Which area am I talking about? This area here. You know what I consider that? Buy point is what I consider that. Why do I consider that a buy point? Because we've broken out. We're going to do kind of a retest move, and then we're going to go higher. This has a lot of potential. I mean, this could go all the way easily to 350 and break this high. Do a big old bull pattern type movement, and I think it could do it quite quickly. We did pause a little bit in this area here. We're probably going to pause a little bit in this area here. You can see we paused a little bit there. We're getting through those sellers. We're getting through them. So we just got to wait for this to come on back a little bit. I'll have a little bit of a pullback, maybe even pull back below this line. We'll see. And I would be another buyer down here. I would cost average in. Now, what about lithium? This is LIT, the Global X Lithium Battery Tech ETF. This thing has had that, the double booty bottom. It's broken to the upside. It had a nice, good run. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a selling pressure, pullback out of it. We do have a bearish engulfing. This does look like it wants to head a little bit lower, further still than where we are today. So I would be patient. I probably wouldn't buy in yet. I would still be waiting for a down move. MP Materials. I got a little bit of a bearish engulfing pattern here. We could see a little bit of a pullback. We'll probably stay within the pattern a little bit longer. A little bit more of a move. Canada Rare Earth Corp. This is a really small company. I don't have anything in it, guys. I don't have a lot in any of these companies, really. We've been moving sideways. It is doing a retest move. It's kind of a lower risk entry point here, but it's a real small company. I'm not doing anything with it. Our Rare Element Resources. This guy's got. So let's just do a big picture view of this thing. It was all the way up at like $16. Did a huge kind of right into the bottom here move, and we've been basically bottoming here. We broke out of this pattern here right in 19. That would have been a good time to buy it when you break, and then you just hold on, you just wait. Then you had this massive move to $4 all the way from 14 cents. Wow, that was a big move. And now we're on the backside. We're doing this consolidation stuff, and there's a lot of support right in this area over here. So I kind of like it in this area. If you want it, I'm not going to buy any probably, but that's in this area. And if you're patient, I think this will probably mimic the side over here and probably head on higher with the rare earth money flows coming in. So this does have a lot of potential. I mean, this was all the way up at, $18 or something like that. And we're at $1 at 16. Looking at Syra Resources, you can see this downtrend line. It hasn't broken yet. But that's not the important thing. What we're looking for is a bottoming pattern, and we're getting higher lows. And if this holds here, that's a higher low. And then we're going to break this downtrend line and move on up. We've got volume that's kicking up on the right-hand side here. You've got volume here, you've got volume here, and it's been higher elevated volume the entire time from that point on. It looks like to me like this is wanting to bottom. It came into some resistance as it tried to run and came on back. So to me, this looks like a potential buy point, basically where it's at. It's finding some support. It may pull back a little further, but it's working. Linus Rare Earths Limited. This kind of looks like almost like we need to go into a consolidation period first. It's had a monster run. I mean, all the way from 75 cents to $8.25. I probably wouldn't be a buyer in this section right now. You can see the pattern, and what we want to identify is we want to identify moves. Like, you see this pattern here? It's a low down here, and then we've got a higher low, even though the March 2020 kind of pushed it through a little bit and created a slingshot higher. We broke through this resistance line, and that's when the run happened. If you look at this pattern here, I'm going to pull up another company. It's one that I put on the website to purchase, and I'll share it here. Victoria Gold's got that same pattern. And you hit your head, you hit your head, you hit your head, you hit your head. You've got higher lows all through here, and we're about to break out and run. And that is what you look for. You look for something that you can buy before it runs. You don't want to be buying something after it's already run. So there's the run, and that's where Victoria Gold is somewhere around this region. It's a very similar pattern. LTHM, this is Livent Corporation. I don't really have a good pattern here. I mean, what you could do is grab this guy and actually, there we go. You could pull it down like this. So it broke out, and then it came down, and it's doing a retest move. And, it might be a good time to actually buy it in here if you guys like it. I'm not really buying much of the lithium stuff at the moment. Another one, you can see the double booty bottom. It broke out. It did a retest move. And what do I always say? Buy the retest, right? Knock that into your head. And you could have got in at 2 cents and ride it to 7 cents. But that's the pattern. It's the booty. And I'm trying to buy stuff down here now. Get it like where it's way down. Because when you get at the bottom here, that's 0.003, and you rode it all the way to 0.006. That's a 20 bagger, man. That's a big move. Portofino Resources, this guy's still chopping sideways. You could kind of come down and hit the tops through here. It hasn't broken out yet, but it looks like it's assembling a move here. ARR, American Rare Earths. This is a megaphone pattern. There's your megaphone. You can even kind of come here and say it was a breakout. It was coming back and forth, and then it gathered some steam and broke out to the upside. I don't know if I'd be a buyer up here, guys. This had a monster run from the bottom. Kind of looks like it's going to consolidate and maybe head lower and probably do a retest of this down here. So I'm not convinced in the lithium areas that I would be buying. I would not be doing anything. Piedmont Lithium's got a little bit of a run recently. So it popped higher, consolidated, and now looks like it's running higher again. Again, I would not be a buyer up here. That's me. Albemarle Corporation, ALB. You can see these little patterns. This is a falling wedge pattern that broke to the upside. Looking at this on the right-hand side, I still think it's got some consolidation. I'm not much interested in it. Lithium Americas Corp, this guy looks like it wants to pull back more. Another one that had a very nice kind of barrel pattern and then a launch higher. It could launch higher again, but again, the risk reward here, it's not favorable. There's other areas that you can buy that are far cheaper. And this one, this one doesn't look too bad. America's Lithium Corporation doesn't look too bad. Volume's kicking up. If we come back into this region down here, I do like this. This is a barrel pattern, and this does have uranium. The uranium, America Lithium Corp had me at uranium, all right? And down here, I like it down in this buy zone at 0.786. This is one of the companies I put on the channel or on the website for everybody to see. Moving over to the fertilizer companies, we're going to move. We're going to straight move. Vanek Agribusiness. This looks like it wants to break higher. So we got this big pattern. This would have been the spot to buy is in this right-hand side right here. It's moved on higher. It's consolidated some. Let me zoom in on the consolidation. It's consolidating sideways, and we've broken that to the upside. We might see a run out of it. Again, I wouldn't be a buyer up here. This thing's already had a pretty good run. I like buying things that are down. If we have other sectors that are down right now that have a lot of leverage, I would rather buy those. IPI was one that was down that I really, really liked. Momentum down, momentum sideways, and then the momentum up's coming. You can see the break, you can see the volume, you can see the booty bottom. You can see on the right hand side that we've got large up candlesticks, small down days. This thing looks fantastic. I bought a little bit in 2020 down here. I did not buy as much as I really wanted. I didn't think fertilizer was going to be as leveraged as some of the uranium companies, so I really piled into oil and uranium down there in the September timeframe. And I probably should have bought this because that would have been, basically a 10 bagger at this point. And this could run a long way. And the next support resistance area is at 116. This could go to 116 in a heartbeat, which it's basically going there in a heartbeat. But it looks good because the right-hand side mirrors the left-hand side. This is a very good-looking chart. Very good looking. ADM is another one I own a little bit in, not a whole bunch. But big consolidation period and then the breakout. It's breaking out. It's up there. It's a good ways up there. I probably wouldn't be chasing it at the moment. Scott's Miracle Grow. This one went vertical on us. I never go after things that are vertical. Never go and get in a stock when it's got a big run like this because it's just going to come on back down eventually. This was a selling opportunity, not a buying opportunity. For CMP, Compass Minerals, the only thing I don't like about this chart, and this to me looks like it doesn't want to go higher, it wants to go lower, is you've got these large selling pressure areas. They're all over the place. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And they're sprinkled everywhere, all through here. That screams to me that we're going lower, and you've got a small little buying pressure. It's going to roll back over, probably go lower is my guess. Don't like that. LXU, LSB Industries. Now this one is a fantastic pattern if you could buy it off the bottom here. I mean, that was a really good, that was back in July 2020, August 2020. It's a big megaphone pattern, and I can even draw or grab this megaphone and put it more to like here. So we kind of came back, and then flooded up there. This is probably going to do one last hurrah before going into a larger consolidation period. I would not buy it there. ICL Group. This guy's been, it looks like it's been steadily going higher. We've got a nice, good pattern here. This is where I would have bought it. See where that thing, so you got this pattern there that it broke. Came to a falling wedge. It broke out, kind of came down. Now you have to be a patient investor, guys, because you could buy it on, I would have bought it on the breakout. It came up, kind of failed, came back down, consolidated. I would have bought again there. And now we've got the big move. So it didn't, this pattern breaking to the upside wasn't validated by this kind of sideways movement. But that one actually doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't buy it up here though. I just don't chase. Nutrient's done a big move. Big old move up higher, guys. I would not be chasing it. CF Industries, another one that's had a pretty big move. Looking backwards, see how you can have this consolidation. Let me tighten this up a little bit. Looks something like that. Hit its head, broke out, retest, gone. It jumped off this base. I see that all the time. Mosaic is one I did partake in. I bought a lot in Mosaic at $25 or $20-something on this break here. This is one of the companies that was in our cheetah mix. And I was like, hey, these are monster patterns. They're going to break, and then they're going to have big moves. So I bought a lot there, and I've just been holding on. We've got pretty good move already. So that's good. UAN, this thing, you can see that this thing was contracting and slowing down. This is a perfect example of what a slowing down looks like. And you kind of throw this in here. It's a declining wedge formation. Looks something like that. It was declining. It kind of came out. You could see the momentum was coming down, and then it went sideways here. And then after it kind of broke through this, it was gone like, it was on like Donkey Kong. This would have been the ultimate buying point if you could get it down there. What you want to look for, and you have to be patient, guys, because it's really hard to get bottoms like this. I think it's much easier to buy it here, is the momentum going down and then going sideways. And then you have to have confidence and basically conviction and looking at the commodity to S&P 500 ratio to get into that at that bottom. But that's what I see in the chart. EEM, this thing's been blown to the downside. The dollar's definitely not helping this. And we could see further downside here with EEM. And I own a little bit of EEM as well. I've got this Altius Renewable. This one actually looks pretty good. It's an Altius Renewable Royalties Corporation. I got lucky, guys. I did. I was looking at this. I was looking for not renewable, royalty companies. And I was looking at the Altius Minerals royalties. And this one was in there, and I looked at it, and I said, wow, this pattern looks really good. I've seen this pattern before. What does that look like? And I got it right in here. So I got some in there. It's broken out. It does what the pattern is it sits and does this stuff at the top. I'll buy more here in this section here if I can get some for like $9.50, and I'm going to cost average in and buy some, and this will eventually work its way higher, is my guess. This is the one I was looking at, the Altius Minerals Corporation. This was one that I said was a buy. It is a buy. And what I'm looking at is the resistance line coming through here. Hit its head, came back down, hit its head. This is a booty bottom. It just didn't pull all the way back up. And now it's broken to the upside. It's going to do a little bit of run mode for a little while and work its way higher. And then another one is Seed. Seed is one that I did buy in the donations portfolio. I put it in my regular portfolio too. This one is very, very low. It's got the pattern where you have a peak, and then you get another peak. It comes on down. I call this going into the valley, and this is your valley coming in, the valley down here. And then you got your booty bottom here. And then eventually what will happen, in my opinion, we'll go over here, is we'll come back up, hopefully quickly. We'll consolidate here for a little bit, and then we'll have a run. So I think this one looks really good. And I looked at their revenue. Their revenue, for this year, they've sold out like 300% of what they could make. They have to figure out a way to increase production, and they're doing that, working on production. And that's a good spot to be in. You're selling more product than what you can make or build. It's a small company. It's only 59 million in market cap, and hopefully this thing is it puts in the bottom. We come up here, we do that exact move and bust out of here. Hopefully we can go back to something that's very high, like 137 or 180 or whatever, and get a full move out of it. But that one looks pretty good to me. So that's what I've got for today, guys. I'll end it there. I would not be in lithium. The rare earths look good. Another rare earth that looks really good is Appia Energy, APAAF. That'd be another one that I would be looking at. And I document all this on the website as well. I've got even more pics than this. So all these look excellent, guys. They look really good. And not all of them. Lithium doesn't look good. Rare earths look decent. Those that have uranium in it look good. And this seed looks really good. I bought a good amount in that. And thank you. I think it was Stacy that brought this up. Thank you for bringing this up. Good job for finding it. And I did buy some in it. So thumb up for the content, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.